This podcast was recorded on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the sovereignty of which was never ceded. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all First Nations people.
Do you do much editing with these ones, or do you just kind of chuck it in?
Depends on how many racist things you said.
So none. Thank you. Hello everyone.
It's time for a bonus ep. I think we did that last time as well.
I think we did.
I think it's the bonus ep air horns.
Yeah.
Bonus ep, bonus air horns.
When you go on sound effects, you have to type in bonus ep air horns. It's different to normal air horns.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are we doing today? What's the name of the game? The reason for the season?
What's the name of the game? It's ABBA.
You think I don't know an ABBA song?
I would.
You sicken me.
Oh my god! All you've done is bash me since you've hit record.
Yeah. What?
And
55 seconds ago.
And before you hit record.
Because you realise being slightly mean to someone for 55 seconds isn't.
Yeah, it's
doesn't
not,
hit hard enough.
No, it's not an excuse to whinge. We've just finished watching Twilight, the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, correct.
And,
true, I was there.
One of the defining features of the film, one of the few defining features of the film, is its soundtrack.
Yes.
So we thought we'd go through that soundtrack and reminisce and discuss and
I'm gonna reminisce.
Yeah.
You're gonna discover.
Well,
because watching the film, did you take note of the soundtrack? I mean, it didn't help that I was being like, oh my god, this song. Oh my god, this song.
Well, when I looked at it, there were songs on there that I knew, but I just would never have placed them as being in Twilight.
But I think, because I watched Twilight a couple times as a kid, I listened to some of these fucking songs so much, and I think it's because one thing that Twilight has going for it, especially the film, is like there's a really clear aesthetic. It's blue
And dark.
It's wet.
Yep.
There are trees everywhere. That is an aesthetic that like you can very easily make music for.
Yes.
And so I feel like the strength of this, like, the music really like suits the film. Like,
yeah.
Because the music, you get the aesthetic without the shit film and storyline. And I feel like that's why it like captured popular imagination. Plus, you know, Twilight was huge. Plus, like, there's a bunch of huge, like, I want to say huge.
There's big artists.
Like, especially for the target market of teenage girls.
Yeah.
Getting 2 Paramore songs? I mean.
I know.
So overall thoughts, what did you think about the soundtrack?
Well, there was a few that stood out to me that I was like, oh yeah, good, like, love this. I found it was an easy soundtrack to just like have on, like doing laundry, had it on.
It wasn't like abrasive.
Yeah,
it wasn't like harsh noise.
Yeah. I wasn't stressed whilst I was listening to it. There was the odd one where I'd be like, what's going on here? Like, you can tell this has been put in a film kind of song.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was, I mean, it's definitely better than the film.
I don't think I'm going to disagree with you. I think, yeah, it's definitely better than the film.
Yeah.
Because, like,
it's a good compilation of songs.
Which is the definition of a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Should we do a little track by track?
Yeah!
Let's get into it.
Let's do that.
We start with...
Now, actually, I do have a disclaimer. Actually, hang on, let me move my bickies. Because I pulled it up on Spotify.
There's some missing.
Yes.
What's up with that?
You can't listen to all of them. So I didn't.
Listen to...
So you can't listen to Go All the Way into the Twilight by Perry Farrell.
Yeah.
You can't listen to Rob Pattinson's. He's down there as Rob, by the way, on Spotify.
Oh.
Rob Pattinson.
So cash. And I'm bummed about that.
Because I remember it's a 4.5 minute song.
God, and I could have... It's definitely on YouTube somewhere. But I didn't go looking for it.
I didn't either.
I'm lazy.
and also Bella's Lullaby we couldn't listen to. We also couldn't listen to the live version of A Flightless Bird, American Mouth. Or Full Moon, the Apple Bloom and Common as Muck remix.
Oh, Common as Muck. Oh, I see.
So there was a few that Unfortunately, I didn't get to listen
Well,
to
neither. Yeah, so maybe we're not getting the full. I should have texted my sister to find out where her Twilight soundtrack
her
CD.
CD. Do you have a CD player?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's good.
I have like over 100 CDs.
Great! I don't have a CD player here.
Okay, yeah, minimalist.
Yeah, I'm decluttering. I've been watching a show called Sort Your Life Out with Stacey Solomon. It's amazing. Lee and I are like, we're gonna declutter. It's gonna be
That's
nothing.
my favorite is when you're like watching someone and you're like, my whole life's gonna change, and then you don't.
Yeah.
Or like when it's like 11 p.m. at night and you're like lying in bed and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And my whole life's gonna change tomorrow. Then you wake up and you're like, all right. I don't know who that was.
Literally. So where was I going with this? Why
So
did I
yeah,
say
we
that?
didn't get the full experience.
Didn't get the full
And so maybe we're missing. Maybe there's a richer tapestry here that we won't be able to participate in. But the soundtrack that we had, it kicks off with Supermassive Black Hole,
So this song,
the baseball game song,
the baseball game song,
as it is famously known.
I reckon. So look, I wasn't a big Muse. I've never listened to Muse.
Stephanie Meyer loves Muse.
Yeah.
That's like she name checked them in the like dedication of Twilight
Oh really?
because she like would only listen to
loves
Muse
them.
while writing. Because she's such a cool lady.
She's so unpredictable. I was like, oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
It's a boppy song. As far as Muse goes, like it's yeah. I liked the use of it in the film.
Yeah. I think it's a great song.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect for the scene that it's in.
Yep.
I think it's so strongly. It's such a good, strong soundtrack moment.
Yes.
Because it adds to the scene without taking it away. You can't watch that scene without thinking of that song, and you can't hear that song without thinking of that scene.
Well, not now, no. That's
and it's just in my head at the moment.
As
It's
the
like,
baseball song.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Decode.
An
Outstanding.
outstanding fucking song.
So
Again,
good.
you cannot think of, and we didn't actually hear it in context because it's a credit song. And the first credit song is a Radiohead song for some fucking reason.
Yeah, it doesn't
Decode
make
is the second credit song.
The
And we tried to
Radiohead
skip
song-
ahead to it, and Disney Plus was like, no, you want to watch Buffy. Which wasn't, they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong.
They weren't.
But it meant we did get to hear it in situ. But I feel like Supermassive Black Hole,
Yeah.
such a strong soundtrack moment.
Yeah.
Decode is just such a good fucking song.
Yeah.
And it's so strongly associated. I don't think it's associated with the films like being in the soundtrack and like being in the credits. I just think it's everyone just thinks Decode, Twilight, connected.
Yeah.
But it's
Just a good song.
so good. And do you know why it's called Decode?
No.
Do you know why she's like, my thoughts you can't decode? I don't know why I think
You are Hayley.
Hayley
You
Williams.
use her hair dye.
I do use her head eye, but also I make her sound like Blink-182 for some reason. I'm so sorry. My thoughts you can't decode. But the reason why she says my thoughts you can't decode,
Yep.
because whose mind can't Edward read?
Hers. Bella's.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how you can tell that Hayley
So
Williams
it was
is
written for Twilight.
yeah, and Hayley Williams is a huge fan of Twilight. Well, she was. I don't know if she'll stand on it now, but also because Hayley Williams is like only a few years older than us.
Yeah.
Her first album came out when she was like 15,
How old is she?
like 30 something.
Is she?
Yeah, she was like one. There's a story of how one time Paramore had to postpone a tour because she got grounded. And I don't know if that's.
Imagine, you're not going on your tour. No.
I don't know if that's actually true.
I love-
but
I
it's
hope
very
it's-
funny the idea.
35.
Yeah, only a few years older than us, so she
So-
would have been. 2000. I'm not doing that maths. We've got to stop doing maths. We need to
We
write
need to
down.
stop
We
doing
need to
that.
write down any date that we might have to reference.
Yeah.
And just like have it like
Yeah.
flashcards.
And Robert Pattinson is 38.
Oh, he's
He was born in...
37?
He's 38.
87 rather?
What?
What year was he born?
86.
86. Damn, I was so wrong. I said 89.
Stop doing math.
It's fine. Because I told it with confidence. Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway.
she was a fan of the books.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, good.
That music video played on like Rage and like video hits all the time.
Do you have Kerrang over here?
No.
Okay.
It was Rage for like free to air TV. It was Rage on ABC and Video Hits on Channel 10. They were like the music video, like the Saturday morning music video.
Nice.
But you'd always watch Rage because it didn't have ad breaks, and Video Hits had ad breaks.
Of course it did.
And now no one watches either because YouTube exists.
Yeah, why would you? Before we continue,
Yeah.
I have a question about the album cover.
Oh,
Why is she a child?
That-
Why is she
So that album,
a literal...
that album art is a poster that was used to like advertise the film, and I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Literally, as I was like, it would have been like my last year of primary school, I reckon.
Yeah.
Going towards my school in the car, there was a huge poster of that. That poster has always made me laugh because it's like their heads are meant to be in the frame together, obviously, because there'd be a photo of both of them. They're implying that Robert Pattinson is so much taller than Kristen Stewart that he has to like bend over. She looks 4 foot nothing. He looks 7 foot with a humpback and his spine's at an L angle, like a 90-degree angle.
She also looks 9 years old.
Oh yeah, the airbrush tough.
Yeah, like they've plumped her face up to make her look younger. Like she looks so concerningly young.
Such a bad image.
Yeah.
And it's just like, for me, it's always just the geography of how their bodies fit together, because it looks like he is like hunched over.
Yeah.
It's
not good.
It's not good.
Anyway.
But an iconic image.
Yeah.
And remember, iconic doesn't necessarily mean good.
Yeah. Okay. Full Moon. The Black Ghost. I don't remember this one. This has
Play the opening bit. Yeah.
Oh yes, this was one of the ones where I was like, this sounds like it's for a film.
It's very like jangly.
Yeah.
It's very like
It's like
there's men with beards and like hats.
And like this would be a cool tattoo. The album artwork.
Because it's like a skull with flowers.
And it's got trees in it.
I can't.
And people.
Yeah. So that one is like,
Sorry.
again, part of I think it feeds into the aesthetic.
Yeah.
That one isn't like standing out as like, oh my god, like this is like an incredible song, but it's like I remember hearing it in the movie and being like, oh yeah, it has something. I'm not going back to that one, but like I think it really suits the aesthetic. I think it has a purpose.
Yeah, it's you can tell it's for the film.
Yeah, I'm sure they're getting a lovely paycheck out of it.
I'm sure they are.
Oh my god! And then what's after that?
Stop. Okay, so this album got me through some stuff as a teenager. Like, it can do no wrong. That album is just, frame it, put it in a gallery. I'm sure it is somewhere.
Gonna name the album? You've just said that album like 5 times.
No, I know. Minutes. Oh,
Minutes
God.
to Midnight?
Yes. Yeah, no. What is it? I could probably name every song on the album.
It's not Meteor, is it?
It's Minutes. It's. Oh, God.
It's by Linkin Park. We also.
Yes, I'm showing myself up because it is. It's called. No, I don't want that. I don't know how to use.
You might have a full-on breakdown. Trying to find the name of a Linkin Park album.
Yeah, do you know why? It's because society's like, do you listen to them? Name 5 songs.
Stop screaming at me.
Minutes to Midnight.
So I was right.
Yeah, we were correct. I said minutes.
We?
I said minutes. You said
And I said Minutes to Midnight, and you said no.
No, I said yes. Minutes to Midnight.
But by Linkin Park, I forgot Linkin Park was on.
I
whacked on that soundtrack.
Oh.
I heard the opening, but I was like,
Oh, it's so good.
it's such a good song.
R.I.P. Chester Bennington.
Linkin Park.
Oh, I love them.
I feel like is a classic thing of like everyone our age loved them as teenagers.
I still listen to them.
Yeah, but like at the time, mainstream music critics were like, "There's Linkin Park, it's new metal, it's blah blah blah, whatever."
Yeah.
But now that like, we've all grown up, there's been like a critical reevaluation. Everyone's like, "Yeah, Linkin Park f***ing slaps."
They're so good.
It's so good. The remix they did with Jay-Z.
Oh, I know.
It's.
They also released a song. Oh God, I want to say recently, but it wasn't like when recently for me could be like any time within the last year.
I was 4 years old.
And they used vocals that Chester had already recorded prior to his passing, and they released it. It's called Friendly Fire, and I listened to it and I was like, and I don't remember the song being in the film.
I don't know if it may have been another credit song. The credits were really long and we didn't watch all of them. That may have been another credit song.
But Leave Out All the Rest by Linkin Park, outstanding.
Leave in that song.
Leave it in.
Leave in that song.
Leave out all the
Leave
rest.
out all the rest, but leave that
Leave
one
it in.
It's really good.
It's so
and I was
good.
never like a big Linkin Park fan, but I've heard songs of theirs. I've never heard a Linkin Park song that I didn't like.
Yeah.
I've just never listened to an album. You know?
When I was doing my A-levels, I analysed a Linkin Park song
That's what I used to do.
for one of my assessments.
That's what I used to do in all of my year 11 and 12 English exams.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to compare, like, you'd have to write about two texts that you studied in class,
Yeah.
and then one text that you of your own choosing.
Yeah.
I would literally, whatever song was stuck in my head, I'd be like, that's the one.
Nice.
Like, I'd be in the exam and I'd get to the third paragraph, which is where I'd always write about my text, and I'd be like, what song's stuck in my head? Cool, that one.
That'll
Like, literally,
do.
that's it.
What was the one that I wrote about? It was a song about war, I think. It's the one that's like, oh god, I'm not going to try and sing it because we don't need that. It's going to bug me. Hang on, bear with. Just put some hold music on or something, Editor Harry.
I won't be doing that. Because for it to be usable, it need to be royalty free, which means I'd have to write it and record it. I don't know that shit.
Hands held high.
Hands held high. Oh, I feel like I've had that one before.
So I compared all
Raise
of
the roof,
these.
hands held high.
Compared...
Whoop, whoop. That's the tone of the song, right?
I'm like, it's about war. So yeah, I had to. We were doing like pragmatics and semantics and comparing like overall meanings of text and then breaking that down. And like my teacher hated me. She was like, "You can't use song lyrics." I was like, "Watch me." So I did, and then she gave me like a really bad grade. But then I got an A in the exam because I'm good at English. I know what I'm doing, and I just to this day I've been like, I know that my analysis of Linkin Park's Hands Held High was
pristine.
so good. And she didn't get it.
She hates women.
Yeah. Yeah, she hated me is what I used to say. My English teacher hates me. She doesn't think about me. How can she hate me?
No.
I think it's because I was...
A nightmare in class.
No, I was good. I just had a bit of a... I was listening to a lot of Linkin Park, so...
It's in a weird headspace.
do with that what you will. Okay, next is... Spotlight. Didn't mind that.
This one's very like indie sleaze, like the Strokesy.
Yeah.
Like UK, like that's like I don't know anything about mute math. So we should mute math when we talk about it on this podcast, am I right? But that feels very like a slightly edgier two-door cinema club, sort
Yes.
of like the fast guitars, the
when
slightly
this was-
whiny voice.
When this was on, I was like, oh, who's this?
Yeah.
It was one of those, because again, they're one of those bands that sound like so many other bands.
Yeah. Like they exist to be put on soundtracks and be in the middle of the track listing and be forgotten about until you hear it and you're like, oh yeah!
Yeah.
Which, like, no offense to mute math, wherever you may be.
I'm sure they're thriving.
We're sure?
I'm not sure. Okay. This was one that I just forgot about. This
Tremble for My Beloved by Collective Soul.
Yes.
This one is really, I feel like we're in the middle.
Yeah.
Like these two songs, we're getting lost a little bit.
Forgettable
We're in the weeds. We're in the...
I was hanging laundry up at this point, but not really listening. It was just background noise.
Yeah. Which is like, that's fine.
It's fine.
But it's sort of, it does...
I didn't have a visceral reaction to this song.
You didn't throw up. I should think not.
Every time I listen to Linkin Park,
You're like, oh my god. Because it's so visceral.
because it's so good.
But it's also, it doesn't help for... You good over there?
So funny. Sorry, continue.
But
continue.
I feel like Tremble for My Beloved... Mm-hmm.
You're saying it like you know it's so
Well, I just feel like it's sort of unfair. It's sort of it's trembling. It should be trembling in fear because what comes directly after it? Another fucking Paramore song.
Yeah.
And it's another really fucking good Paramore song.
yeah.
But it's the one that people forget about because it's not as like big and catchy as Decode.
But their back was
but
hurting.
I caught myself when we heard it in the film.
Yeah.
I was like, this song. I forgot about this song. I went home and I listened to it like 5 times.
Yeah, nice.
So it is so good.
Hayley Williams' back is strained from carrying the weight of this soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean Matt Bellamy's doing some of the work,
Yeah.
but Hayley Williams is
She's
a woman. She's a woman of the people.
Yeah, she is. She is.
She's for the girls.
She's pulling us through. Okay, next one. Eyes on Fire by Blue Foundation.
Oh, this one I really like. This is like the classic.
Sounds like it could be in 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, this one is like very like. It's almost like pre-Mitski.
What?
You know Mitski?
What What are you saying?
Mitski?
No.
The artist? Great. That's why it sounds like gibberish. It does just sound like I'm saying nonsense.
I
No.
was like, you know,
Yeah.
what?
Okay, for those at home, it sounds like almost Mitski-ish. It's very... this is another... Actually, this is interesting. This is an iconic... I feel like this is an iconic song that no one remembers the name of the artist. But, I love shit like...
It was nice.
Like, I love, like, people playing electric guitar like it's acoustic guitar. Like, just boom, bam, bam. Oh.
Does something.
I
Scratches
actually...
that tickle in your
that
brain.
Song, I always forget what it's called. What's it called?
Eyes on Fire.
Eyes on Fire. Ooh. Got that checked out. I always forget what it's called. I don't know who it's by.
Blue Foundation.
But it gets stuck in my head all the time. Like, genuinely, all the time. It's so good.
That's good. Flightless Bird, American Mouth. The slow one.
That is
the prom song.
Not including Bella's Lullaby. That's actually the last track on the standard edition.
Yes.
And that's another one that I think is pretty iconic.
It was really... I thought it was nice.
It's really nice.
It was a nice song. Like, I was like, oh.
It's a classic, like... I do love the songs that get chosen to play in, like, prom scenes in, like, film and TV.
Yeah.
Especially in, like, this time period.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Buffy. Oh, if you want to talk about iconic soundtracks. The Buffy soundtrack.
We could do a whole...
There are 3 Buffy soundtracks.
Yeah.
I know every single song on all 3 of them.
Nice.
One of them is from the musical episode. But, like, this is another classic one of, like, this... It is such good prom, slow dance.
Yeah.
It's
like,
so good.
Because obviously, like, I listened to this before we finished recording and watching the film. So then when I saw that that's where it comes in, I was like, yep, that makes sense.
It's so sweet.
It's so sweet.
Because he's in love. Presumably, I don't know anything about the lyrics, but he's in love.
Now, then you've got these random, like... extra things.
These are apparently the deluxe edition bonus tracks.
So I didn't like this one.
Love is Worth the Fall.
Yeah.
It felt very Christian rock to me. It felt... I was listening to it being like, ooh, I could see myself listening to this age 12 being like, should I try to get into Christian music? And the answer being no. It was very...
I didn't even like the...
If you look at the artist description
I didn't
on
even
Spotify...
like this.
Yeah, it's by the artist called OAR. Look at the artist description on Spotify. Can you read it out for the group, please?
Yeah. Oh, it's
just the first sentence is enough.
Okay.
It'll give you the tone.
For over 25 years, OAR have embodied the kind of joyfully communal spirit that's transcendent for both artist and audience alike.
Like, f*** off.
What does that mean? You're just saying words.
It's like we create like a great positive vibe and we're all about like community. Like it's like shut up.
They have merged their musical DNA into a free-flowing sound and exhilarating live show.
Sounds like we just come on a speaker. Musical DNA. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe they're lovely guys, but
the song didn't do it for me.
I literally looked at the artist description trying to work out if they were a Christian rock band.
Yeah,
and that's how I stumbled upon those atrocious sentences.
I'd listened to the soundtrack and this was on, and I was like, oh, what is this? You know, sometimes it goes onto like radio. I was like, what is this? No, I'm gonna move on.
I feel like the experience of the Twilight soundtrack. It ends with the Flightless Bird.
Yeah. Because then you've got like I didn't listen to this remix. Of course I listened to the acoustic version of Decode. Because
it's not only... There's a classic thing of like, it's an acoustic version, but it's not just like acoustic guitar. It's acoustic plus some violins.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's nice.
It's really nice. Hayley Williams, if you're listening, I love you, bitch.
Now, do we want to listen to the Rob song or no? We don't have to. I
kind of just want to go home.
Well, I'm sorry that you hate it here so much.
And that is what I meant to say, and I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah.
No, I think it's okay. I think
we've got the overall gist of...
Because the thing is, I reckon we can... That's another bonus episode.
Yeah.
Don't have to plan the next. Because there is actually... He's been credited on other... You know what he should do?
What?
I know for a fact there is a experimental hip-hop group called Death Grips.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson plays guitar on one of their songs.
Right.
Now, I've never listened to Death Grips. I want us to listen to the song he wrote for the Twilight soundtrack, and then compare and contrast with the song that he made with Death Grips.
Oh, okay.
Sort of just catches... Because when I say they're an experimental rap group...
Vibe, yeah.
I mean, one of their album artworks is a picture of one of the members' erect penis. Like, that's sort of... And
Okay.
then they did the thing of, like, they announced that they were breaking up and then immediately went on tour.
Of course.
That's the sort of shit that Death Grips does.
Right.
My friend went to one of their gigs once and said that the crowd was moshing so hard he felt his feet leave the floor and not come back down to the floor for like 5 minutes. Because of how like intense it was.
Okay.
So I want to compare and contrast those two because that sounds funny.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Also, Rob Pattinson on Spotify, 0 monthly listeners.
Rob, though? If
Yeah.
I typed in Robert, would it come up with something?
Well, if it's not on the Twilight soundtrack.
Does he sing?
Well, we don't know. We haven't listened yet.
We don't know.
Gotta leave him wanting more.
We've got to keep going through his films. Which is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
That's the point of this podcast.
I like you trying to like remind me.
That's what That's what we're here to do, Harry. We're here to work. It seems like no one wants to work
I don't
these
want to
days.
fucking work anymore. I think the issue is, in terms of podcasts, too many people want to work. There are too many.
Yeah, too many podcasts, but ours is the best.
Sure, yeah.
It is.
Yeah. You know, because you know what ours is based on? Friendship.
Oh my god.
Mine and Rob's.
Yeah. I'm just
And Hayley Williams.
here. For
All three of us have been hanging out with that. Do you reckon Robert Pattinson and Hayley Williams hang out?
Nah,
I don't think they do,
I don't think they do.
but I think they could.
I think they could.
I think they definitely met once or twice.
Yeah.
I feel like if they met now that Hayley Williams is like much more critically acclaimed, Robert Pattinson's much more critically acclaimed.
I reckon if we did a Google image search and we just put Robert Pattinson and Hayley Williams, there will be pictures of them together.
Yeah. Like glued, like
That you have
separate
made,
newspaper cuttings.
that you have edited.
Yeah.
That's what you did at film school, right?
Yeah, we edited still images of celebrities.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did, because again, I wasn't watching the films.
Yeah, you've only ever watched Twilight.
It was like, you need to watch French New Wave films. Watch
No.
Truffaut. Nah, bitch.
No.
I actually haven't watched any Truffaut films.
What are you saying? True.
Truffaut. He's a famous French director. One time I was in a meeting with my lecturer, and we were talking about a script I was working on, and she was like, so you've seen all those like French New Wave films? And I was like, no, I haven't. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, I
get
haven't.
in?
And she was literally like, well, I'm not going to tell you to watch them because they're not relevant for this project, and like, you know, I think you should focus on watching other films, but like, you should.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I know.
Did you?
No. I watched one of them at undergrad and then left halfway through because I'd had too much coffee and I was like having a breakdown. Literally. Because it was a film, it was a 3-hour-long film class at 9 a.m. on a Monday.
Oh, yeah, you
I had left most of those films halfway through because I'd had too much coffee because I was so tired.
Yeah. And on that,
Well,
well,
catch you on the flip side.
yeah, and look, who knows what the next bonus episode will be?
But you know what the next episode's going to be?
Yes.
Little fucking ashes.
Ashes!
Picture ashes. No,
Is
it's
it-
more than that. It's more than that.
Tiny!
Petite ashes.
Is it about fire or cricket? Tune in to...
It was about what happens after the fire. Whoa, dude.
Oh my god.
It's crazy.
You're just so creative.
I
feel sick.
That song is beautiful. I'm gonna hurl.
It's visceral.
I reckon we can call it that.